Last episode, I talked about how Nibbler, this bulldog-sized aquatic garbage disposal, might be partially responsible for tourists abandoning Cotton Top Cove in cotton top droves. Sorry, that was terrible. But if there's even a hint of truth to that, what does that say about Squirt? Imagine going to like Yellowstone and the ground opens up and a fucking giant crustacean head appears in the earth. Come to think of it, maybe that would bring in more tourists. This is part 18 of Overthinking Donkey Kong Country 3. You know, before we get into the fight itself, I want to riff on that for a bit longer. Was Squirt always here? I mean, a giant crustacean embedded into the wall of a cliff doesn't just show up overnight, right? So maybe he was part of the show. Maybe he was a draw for the tourists. Is he sentient? Could he have been friendly once upon a time? Alternatively, maybe the gradual erosion of the cliff face from the waterfall unearthed him. But then, how long was he in there if it took something like that to bring him out? And how is he still alive? Then again, according to my research, it's not uncommon for crustaceans, larger ones in particular, to go months without food. Stands to reason that a much larger crustacean could go a lot longer. Not only that, but some crustaceans live for a long time. Again, it's not entirely biologically accurate, but combining these two facts and multiplying their effectiveness by the size of Squirt, and it's kind of sort of possible that he was here, hidden away in some recess for years before the water unearthed him. Speaking of his name, yeah, he shoots water at you, but maybe he was named Squirt because he was someone's pet once upon a time. And like in that movie Alligator, he got lost or flushed down the toilet or whatever, and grew to a huge size. That's a stupid theory, but it's also not my worst theory. Okay, let's talk about the fight itself. For the first time in DKC3 history, you take on a boss in the form of one of your animal buddies. This time around, it's Allie, in her 5th appearance. Coming more or less straight off Tracker Barrel Trek, players should have an idea as to how this fight should go. Squirt pops out from behind the waterfall and spits a stream of water at you that can, and likely will, push you off the small platforms and to your doom. Easy enough to avoid once you know what's up. When the stream runs out, he pokes his eyes out from behind the waterfall, and that's your cue. Spit water into his eyes. 2 times per eye ought to do it. And that's the end of the round. There are no secondary phases to this fight, just an increase in speed and the amount of water streams. If you can survive one, you can survive them all. I personally find it frustrating, but that's because I get impatient and end up dying as a result. It's entirely on me, and not a fault of the game. When you beat Squirt, he squirts out this. It's a ski. Kind of reminds me of tiger sharks puking up license plates, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think it'd be uncommon to see skis around the northern hemisphere, but what's it doing here? And what are we supposed to do with a single ski? Well, we'll just have to find the other one first. I always thought of Squirt as like a crab or something, but according to some sources, he's more like a slug. He doesn't not look like a slug, but the aquatic theme, plus his ability to shoot water, makes me think I'm right. I am open to debating that though. Nintendo Magazine has also referred to him as, and I quote, a lizard thing. I don't think he's a lizard thing. Anyways, Cotton Top Cove is done and dusted, and Mykonos is next. I think this has been my favourite world so far. It has a sense of progression that the other worlds lacked, as well as a bit more narrative detail to work with. I had a lot of fun revisiting this area of DKC3 for the series, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Mykonos coming real soon.